Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Teatime Tales. For those of you who have not watched one of my streams before, this is a channel that usually focuses on the tabletop Lord of the Rings living card game. But today I'm going to experiment with the brand new digital game that just came out for early access yesterday. So for those of you who are new, for those of you who are returning, usually this is a series where I take a kind of experimental deck and run it through the testing ground, see how it performs, see what I want to change. But since this is a brand new digital game and I really don't know what I'm doing, I guess it's all experimental at this point. So it kind of fits in with the whole Teatime Tales idea. So my name is Ian. Today I always have some kind of tea that I'm drinking as part of the Teatime Tales name. So today I'm drinking, just again, like last week, some simple chai in my Slytherin cup. I like how Slytherin because it's kind of a shout out to Grima and all the greenness of that. So what else? Trying to think of what I need to cover before we get started here. So other things, usually I say that I reserve the right to scoop and there will be mistakes. I think both of those are still true for digital. so nothing too out of the ordinary there. What else? Let me catch up with chat. Hi, Stokes. Yeah, you can see my face this time. I guess I should do what the cool kids do when they're streaming digital stuff and show myself. You can see where the magic happens here. This is the laundry / storeroom / podcasting room in my house. So double duties with all that. The nice stack of lots of baby wipes, which any parent will be familiar with. Hey, everyone. Yeah, my penguins are lols in the chat saying I have to stop seeing podcast hosts in person. Yeah, it's always a bit freaky and unsettling when you see people for the first time whose voices you've just heard for a long time. It's never quite what you expect, except for in a few cases. Alright, so let's get started with this thing then without any further ado. Just to give you an idea what we're going to do today, we're just going to look at a deck that I've been using so far. I've just built one deck, and I'm going to start experimenting with some more builds as much as I can. Obviously, there's not a huge card pool right now, so there's not a ton to kind of experiment with, but we'll do that a little bit. So let's go into the deck builder, and then we'll run through Quest 1. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the narrative and animations because I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this have seen that already. And if you have not, you certainly can. But let's see. So I am playing this deck that I've called Keen Eye here. Let's go into that and see what we're dealing with. So I have Faramir, Legolas, and Éowyn, sorry. The Spirit Sphere. Éowyn is what I'm running here. And I didn't really have a grand idea behind this deck other than, let's just throw a couple ranged heroes in here and see how it works when you kind of emphasize ranged over other things. So let's see. I have 1 Spike Trap, 1 Warrior Sword, 2 Watchful Pieces. Threat reduction is more meaningful than I at first thought just watching the streams, just because some of those threat events are so nasty, and it also helps with your score and getting those Palantir views. So I have a few forms of threat reduction in here. 2 Feint, it's as good as it is in the tabletop game. Galadon Archer, Galadriel's Handmaiden, again, some more threat reduction. Sylvan Tracker, 2 of those. 1 Expected Courage, which I usually use on Éowyn. It's really good on her because she can actually fight pretty well with 2 attack. But she's also good for clearing those objectives. 2 Wandering Tooks. So you can kind of see I'm very heavy on the 1-costers. I don't have any leadership. so there's not a lot of extra resources going around, and I just emphasize the low cost stuff, and it's worked pretty well so far. So a lot of those cheap one cost allies. Moving into the two costers, I have one Bjorn's Hospitality. It's nice having a version of this card that's actually used. You tabletop players will know that the equivalent card in the tabletop game is not used very much because it's a lot more expensive. Two Airborne Record Keepers for some extra card draw. In practice, I haven't used this guy a ton. He's more just a body because with Faramir, I find that I have enough card draw. But he's there. I'll keep him there for now until I think of something better to use in that slot. Caregiver and Lembas. So healing I found is really important. I want to experiment with some builds that don't use healing and see how well it goes. But so far, I feel like you need some kind of healing. So those are those two. One copy of Round Shield, just for some armor. Again, more healing with self-preservation. Starbruch. Again, a lot of the things are translating from the tabletop game, which is action advantage. Being able to get extra actions out of the same characters is super helpful. So two of those, which gives Stalwart to a character. Two Westfold Outriders, a Ranger Spear. I only have one of those just because it's more expensive. Again, I'm trying to keep my cost curve down, meaning prioritizing cards that cost less. So 1 or 2 cost, ideally. 0 cost is nice too. But the card is really powerful. It gives you... Now I'm trying to remember what it does. Yeah, plus 1 attack and a block. And then just one of Gandalf, one of Tom Bombadil. I had 2 Gandalfs, but again, I just was finding that I was maybe playing him once. So with these 5 costers, I'm just going with one of each is the approach. And that's pretty much it. It's interesting building 30 card decks. It, like with Arkham Horror the card game, if any of you guys play that, which also uses 30 cards, that deck space fills up quickly. But it's also interesting having a kind of more focused deck, and when you don't have a huge card pool yet, it's kind of nice not having to throw in a bunch of filler cards. I remember in the core set days of the tabletop game just throwing in all kinds of cards that weren't great just because you needed space to fill up to 50, which is what is used in the tabletop game. 30 versus 50 is a huge difference. Alright, so let's get started. Yeah, Electron John mentioning in the chat, it's an Ian in a box. That it is. Let's play. I have my nice Awen avatar going right now. Grima's my boy, but anyone who listens to... I'm just going to try to name drop as much stuff I'm involved in as possible, because why not? But I'm part of the Great Company podcast, which covers the tabletop game, but also runs book clubs, looking at all the chapters of the Lord of the Rings, and recently I've really come out with how much I love Awen as a character, so thus the Awen avatar. Okay. Just catching up on chat a little bit. So we're going to play Quest 1, just to kind of start off. So this is Addercop. Again, I'm not going to... leave the dialogue up because that's just gonna be a lot of us sitting here and you listening, which you can do at home. So let's get started. JNR Gaming asking in the chat, is this game worth buying? In my opinion, so far, yes. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Hopefully, watching the stream, you can get an idea for how it plays and get a sense for whether you like it. My main concern going in was that there wasn't going to be enough strategy, enough kind of meat to the game. And while I still think the tabletop game obviously is way more complex and has more going on, and I'm glad that they didn't kind of suck the soul out of the game. Like, I feel like there's still enough room for skill to play a part, for getting better, for actually making decisions. Yeah, that's kind of my quick take. in the... Yep, that's so far. Okay, so our quest is basically focusing on Bilbo Baggins being taken captive and us going to rescue him. He's gotten captured by spiders. It's kind of an interesting lore piece because this is something that we can safely say did not happen. But similarly to the tabletop game, they're kind of finding space within the lore to create interesting stories. I found this campaign so far is maybe taking a little more liberties than is in the tabletop game. But just, you know, later in the quest, you have Gollum, who's kind of helping to capture Bilbo and encountering him again. You know, but the way I am, I'm not too, like, caught up in that kind of thing that I think it's a bad thing. It's kind of fun having those familiar characters. I think especially with the very first campaign of the game. I don't know, how do you guys feel about the kind of lore aspects of this first campaign? Okay. Oh, Electron John mentioning, well, in an early draft. For those who don't know, Electron John really has a good handle on the early drafts of Lord of the Rings and how much characters and things changed. If any of you are interested in that, it's really fascinating seeing how different some of those early drafts of Lord of the Rings were from what came later. Okay. Yep, so we're searching. We'll skip through that and we'll get started. I didn't mention in deck building, but I've kind of taken a similar approach to the tabletop game, at least to start off, that you should emphasize allies just because you need bodies to take those hits. So I just went for kind of offhand rule of about half of my deck being allies, so about 15 allies in the deck. It might be exactly 15 actually, I would have to go back and check, and then filling out the rest with events and attachments. And I'll play with that as I get more familiar with the game and how different deck styles work. So let's look. I really like Unexpected Courage, as I mentioned, so I'll keep that. I'm gonna chuck Tom because he's too expensive for the early game. And Imladris is nice, but I kind of need him later when I actually take some damage. Westfold is good, potentially. And Round Shield can be good as well. I do like block. But I think probably my play will be these two. So let's go ahead and check it, because I'm really hoping to get basically some of those one-cost allies. That's why I'm checking so much of this stuff. And maybe some of my other key attachments. Okay, well, I got 3 one-cost allies, so my wish granted. So our objective, defeat every enemy or resolve Glint of Steel. This is Glint of Steel here. First things first, with Legolas's ability, is to deal 1 damage during upkeep. So, kind of what I like to do is use it to get someone within range of killing right away. So I'll drop it on this guy. He has 3 health, which means he'll now have 2 health, which means I can kill him right away with one of my 2 attack heroes. So that's kind of the decision making there. Let's catch up on chat here. Duran's father mentions, looks like secrecy decks would do great with those threat events, assuming we eventually get a card pool supporting that. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how secrecy is implemented. In the tabletop games, secrecy gives you a discount on certain cards if you're below 20 threat, if you're at 20 threat or below. So I'll be interested to see if we ever get that in this game. I feel like it could work similarly enough, giving you some kind of cost reduction. Okay, so first move. A lot of people have commented on the fact that the first couple turns are the key ones, and that's what I've found as well. One of the things I do like is looking at our guys here. They have these funky circles because they have guard, which means you have to attack them first, and they also deal damage back to you if you attack them. Now, the great thing about having 2 ranged heroes is they can skip right past guard, and they can attack these without taking that damage. So if you don't have that option, then you kind of have to maybe use guard on your characters, which forces the enemy to attack them first, and it's kind of a game of chicken at first of who's going to give up guard. So let's see how I want to play this. Because what I could do is kill one first so it doesn't attack me. And then I could drop an ally. I think that's probably what I'll do. The other option would be to get a body out and hope that they kill some of those people first. But it's kind of hard to tell who they're going to attack. So let's just start off with having Faramir kill this person. Let me just double check they don't have block, which they don't. Oh, and this is a good one to kill off the bat too, because it has Stalwart, which means it can take 2 actions. It can attack twice. So let's nuke that one. Faramir's ability is to draw a card when he kills something, which is an amazing ability. I love it so much. And it's nice to have a version of Faramir that's really, really strong. The couple of versions in the tabletop game are, as far as heroes go, are good, but they're not this strong as strong as the digital version is. So I think what I'm likely going to do is now I'm going to drop an ally on the board. And let's go with the Westfold Outrider. Let's go ahead. I could either hit this guy to get him closer to death, or try to kill some of these smaller ones. I think we're gonna try to take out some of these smaller ones first. Let's hit this one. I think one of the decisions in the game is often trying to figure out essentially like whether you're gonna kill the smaller enemies with lower health first or the bigger ones. That's one of the decision points in the game, and often it depends on a lot of factors, which is why I mentioned I think there is some strategy to this game, because maybe the higher health enemy also has higher attacks, so you need to get it off the board. But if there's a bunch of smaller enemies, maybe you're better off clearing it. Fewer actions for Sauron is always a good thing. So that's another way to look at it. So I think my penguins are Lols is mentioning in the chat their strategy is to kill more. That's my strategy in tabletop. Fewer enemies equals fewer attacks against you equals more ready and alive characters to do things. Yeah, just like the tabletop, this is a game of action advantage. So get yourself more actions than Sauron has, and you're in a good spot. I think what we're going to do here, Faramir's taken a real beating here, which it's not just me saying this, but a few people have commented on the fact that the AI really seems to hate Legolas for some reason. Like, they're always smashing on him. So I'm glad that you guys can see it for yourself, that I'm not crazy mentioning that. Okay. So in order to stop him taking a beating, I think what we're going to do is have our friend here guard, which means this guy will have to attack him, and he'll take the damage of 2, which will help wear him down a bit and protect Legolas. Yep, took the bait. Now he's down to 4 health. The thing is, now Sauron has 3 resources. So again, this is one of the fun things about this game that I'm enjoying so far, is now it becomes kind of a game of, okay, Sauron has 3 resources. If I start just being tempted to use Legolas to kill things and Eowyn to quest, then Sauron can dump stuff on the board and all my people will be exhausted, which will be a real bad look. So it seems like a smart move is often to kind of bait Sauron into playing his stuff by doing other stuff, like playing cards. So it's a question of what I want to do here. My threat isn't too high. One of the things I did not do, which I wanted to mention, is I like starting off the quest by first looking at what's coming. So 3 forest spiders enters play is really bad when I hit 34. I'm at 29, so I want to make sure that doesn't happen, or happens when I'm more set up. And the fate events. This one you get some supplies. At 4 fate, you exhaust up to 2 spiders. At 7 fate, Glowin joins your party, which is awesome. So this is another of my favorite parts of this game, are the fate events at a fun kind of I can't say unpredictable because you can see them coming, but another wrinkle to the game that's not included in your deck, I guess is the way I would say it. Electron John mentions Legolas stuffed Bat Sauron in a locker in high school. It's in an early draft. I believe it. Yes, I do want to see that new book of Sauron's experiences in high school. I think that'll be a bestseller. I wanted to get Unexpected Courage on Eowyn, but I think the move here is actually to play the Galathon Archer and pig this guy for 1 damage. The reason being is because during upkeep next round, Legolas can use his ability to just nuke it. So I like to use that combo of getting something down to 1 so Legolas can just kill it next turn. So Sauron spent a resource to play this thing, so I gain a threat every time I attack this guy, which is terrible. I'm really wanting to avoid threats, so I may just find a way to kind of quest through him so that I don't have to worry about that. Okay. So he still has 2 resources. I don't have any left on my end. So I think what I'm going to do is just let's go ahead and get some progress on this objective while the guard is exhausted. Let's see how Sauron responds. Gain 2 threat. Eesh. Oh, 2 health. Sorry, that was not 3. 2 health. Okay, that's actually not that huge a deal. So I think what I'll do is just snipe him to get him back. I mean, I lost kind of the damage that I dealt already, but that's fine. Gain more threat? He's really trying to get me to that threat event. And I could finish him off, but instead I think I'll just let's get the big one down a little bit. And that'll be my turn. Oh, I forgot there's one more. And so this one raises my threat. Oof. That's rough. Okay, let's go ahead and use Legolas's ability to get rid of that one. Okay. Just trying to figure out my options here. Yeah, people are mentioning in the chat about the love for the Gondor card backs. Yeah, I love these, and I wish they had some sleeves like that. That would be awesome for the tabletop game. These backs are part of the Gondor Steward of Gondor pack, I believe it is. Personally, I had the Collector's Edition Mithril bundle, which includes the various packs, but I believe that's the one it comes in, which would make sense. Okay, so my 2 big options here, I think, are either to 1 guard or to play out an ally and hope he doesn't keep hammering on Legolas, because so far I don't have healing it, which is a bit troubling. So let me guard. Okay. So my guy's dead, but I did 2 damage here, and he's exhausted. I think I could feint something, but it's not the best use of my resources, I think. I could get another Galathon Ultra. Actually, I could do a Sylvan Tracker, give Legolas some stealth so he doesn't keep getting pounded on, which is a decent option, I think. So let's do that. Okay. Legolas vanishes into the trees. That's fine. That uses up that action. And, catching up on chat. I like guarding low health allies so the attack is utilized. I find that AI tends to kill off allies if they can. McDog mentions. Yeah, that's very true. I think what we're gonna do here is probably just kill this guy so he can't attack. And draw a card. Okay. Oh boy. King Spider. This is a rough one. I think I'll probably guard this one. And then, see. So Sauron used up his resources on this 3-coster. It would be kind of funny to feint it at this point. Or I could guard and take off some of the damage. Interesting options here. I think I'm gonna feint it because it's funny. Yeah, you do, Sauron. You have to pass. So Sauron passes. He doesn't have any resources. No treachery waiting for me, so I should be fairly safe. So I think my last move... yeah, I think I have to get the Handmaiden out to lower my threat because I don't want that threat event going off. And she gives me some willpower. Okay, so I'm down to 32 threat. And now we can get down to some business. Let's see. The spider is essentially... I mean, I can just work on trying to travel now. This is my next move. Yeah, let's just do that. So, let's send some fate towards our fate meter here. Send some more fate that way. Let me just make sure these guys don't have pursuit, which means they travel with you to the next stage. Okay. They don't. So there's no point to putting a spike trap on any of them. I forgot I have Legolas, so let's go ahead and fade up. This is essentially what I like to do, is just kind of fading up before I travel, as long as stuff is exhausted or harmless. I could trigger this to exhaust up to 2 spiders, but again, that's kind of pointless right now, so let's just finish this thing here. Okay, Sting comes out, which is awesome. I love having these kind of little stuff that pops out at you, some treasure you find along the way. This card is obviously awesome against spiders, giving you +2 attack. So I'll try to get that on the board as soon as I can, and then we're just going to travel. I think the Fate should still be in effect, hopefully. That would suck if his attack went up and he hits me, but we're about to find out. Okay, find a way across the stream. Okay, threat event went off. So I'm still unclear personally about how the traveling works. So I guess apparently if there's a ready enemy, then it also raises your threat. I did not know that, which would have changed my decision making there. So that's unfortunate, but we'll deal with it and hope it doesn't go too badly. Okay, McDog is mentioning that. Yeah, I knew they attacked because they mentioned that in the tutorial, but I had no idea it raised your threat as well. So good to know. Good to know. This is going to make things very hairy here. And we'll see if I'm able to survive it. Let's just nuke the one healther. Okay, this is really bad. How do I want to deal with this? Let's see what our fate event is. Gain Mirkwood Water. I don't think that's going to be so helpful at the moment. Oh yeah, I forgot the 2-1 is to exhaust. Oh no, that's Ready's a character. Yeah, that doesn't have the exhaust spiders anymore. Ready a character and deal it 1 damage. Okay. I really want to get glowing. Another body would help. Okay. Let's figure this out. So I can't kill the bear right away. Oof, yeah, I don't have a lot of great options here. I think let's start off by giving this guy guard then. And make Sauron eat up an action. Okay. That's 1 action there. The bear is rough, for sure. Let me remind myself, draws 1 less card. Okay, that's kind of not the biggest priority at the moment. The rest of these guys are just pretty vanilla. But vanilla can hurt sometimes. Quote me on it. Yeah, I think just some heroes are going to have to take some damage. Legolas is in a spot of trouble here, because I have a feeling the bear is going to bear down on him. Yep. Well, I gotta do what we gotta do. Let's get this guy's health down. Okay. That works for me. The bear didn't attack Legolas. I'll take that all day. So, let's have Faramir finish off the bear before he can attack them. And hopefully draw into some healing. Yeah, Limbus, that's good. Okay. Think what we're going to do here then is have Legolas kill this one before it can attack, and then we can Limbus him up. I would like to spend that 2 resources on something else, but he's kind of a priority right now. Oops. What did I... Oh, he was at 4 health. Sorry, I was totally misreading that. That's my bad there. Okay, that could have turned out worse. Yeah, someone was asking, is this a Sylvan deck? Oh, there's a lot of Sylvan there. But it's not, quote-unquote, a Sylvan deck, I would say. Okay, so I need to remember that this is attack and not health, because I totally misread that, but that's fine. And guess I should ready and heal Legolas, even though I want to spend on some cool stuff. It kind of hurts me to do that. Oh well, we'll have to worry about that next turn. So see how we want to do this. Sauron still has 3 resources, which is troubling. Let's go ahead and fade up. We do got a spider guard on the board. Let's grab our glowing. which will help. And he has some health to spare, so let's go ahead and have him guard. Okay. That makes things a bit easier. Okay. What is this again? Push over this tree. That's what we need to achieve. Tearing our way through these spiders is going to be a bit rough. Let's go ahead and kill the one with more damage potential. Hatchling spider, huh? What does this 2 fate event give me? Allows me to ready a character, deal it 1 damage. Sure. Let's fade up. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. We'll use it on Glowin since he essentially has the same attack. And then let's take out this big one. Yeah. Let's see who he's putting that on. Oh, that one's a nasty now. The nice thing is Glowin's power, I can spend 1 resource to discard a shadow attachment. Yeah, he is a great guard, as McDog is mentioning. Well, so far this play has not gone as well as most of my other plays, mostly because I did not understand the rule about raising threat, which caused that threat event to go off. Because basically my plan was to get to the stage, play Watchful Peace, drop my threat, and avoid that threat event for like another few turns, so I could get set up. But I guess it makes it interesting, right? I can play Spike Trap. Deal 1 damage to this enemy during upkeep. Sure, let's put it on this guy so he's within easy range of death. Snake falls into some spikes. New round. Upkeep. Takes a damage. Guess one of these guys. It wasn't a great choice there. Okay. Trying to decide what to do here. And I think guarding with Glowin is the first move. Yep. He fell upon the Glowin sword. That's fine with me. Take that all day. I kind of want a Wandering Took to deprive Soren of resources so he can't increase his board state. I've actually really ended up liking this ally. Depriving Soren of resources is nice. I look forward to playing that deck type more if we get more cards that support that. That seems like a deck type that I'll enjoy playing, kind of Denial of Sauron, and it's something that's really unique to the this digital game versus the tabletop. And we saw the Bilbo hero in the tutorial who can kind of basically essentially burgle using an action to get steal 1 to 3 resources from Sauron. I thought that was a super cool thematic ability. Okay. My hand is looking awful blue, Stokes' book mentions. Good thing spheres aren't a thing in this. Tri-sphere would be tough, no doubt. But I do like we get so many actually useful 1-cost ally options. That helps a lot. Let's see. So I can't quite just kill anything outright. I could put Sting on someone and do that. Maybe I should do that, actually. I'll take a hit from something, but it would be nice to actually get some more killers on the board. Yeah, I'll deprive Soren of resources. Because Soren often goes for an ally. Going after that Legolas. Ooh, this is bad. Bad news bears. Usually I like to get some of my healing way earlier. I should have held on to that Imladris Caregiver, probably. But let's guard up with the Wandering Took then, which is another reason I played him. Okay. So far Soren can't outright kill Legolas, which is good. But he's almost dead, and I think I might lose him soon. Well, let's put Sting on Faramir then, since he's not an imminent threat of death. Okay, he attacks Faramir. That's fine. That worked out well. Okay, Soren still has 2 resources to spend, so let's not show our hand too early. Let us... And I haven't been able to get Unexpected Courage on Awen yet, which is a bit discouraging. Or Starbrooch, 2 very important things, just because I've had to keep throwing bodies out there to deal with those 3 extra spiders. This is a thing, but with Faramir it's not as much a thing because I'm still drawing cards. So let's just go ahead and put some on the objective and try to bait Sauron to play his hand. Oof! Well, that sucks. I was going to use that. I was going to use that to drop my threat. Sauron's out of resources now. We can essentially try to quest out of here. But my board state is not the best. I almost feel like I want to spend another round here and try to build up, actually. To get my board state where it needs to be. What is the next threat event? Exhaust a random ally. It does not ready during the next upkeep phase. That's not the worst in the world. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the build-up strategy. Turtle it a little bit. Play another round. Hope it doesn't go too bad. And hope I'm in a better place. Although Legolas is looking rough, so maybe that's a bad idea. Well... How about we fade up? No. Let's get it within 1, and then we can fade up next turn. Like John mentions, Legolas is going to be in a better place, the halls of Mandos. Oh, too soon. It's about to be too soon. Let's kill one of the big spiders with Faramir. Ooh, that's what Daddy needed. That can heal 4 from Legolas. And let's go ahead and hit this one with Legolas so we can finish it off with his ability during upkeep. That'll do me. Okay. Well, the good news is we've gotten a bit of a handle on our board state. So that's the good news. I think I'm just going to guard with Glowin again. Force this one to fall on his own sword, which it does. And he only takes 1 damage. Durin's father mentioning, yikes, looks like Arwen's healing would be good to bring alongside Legolas if Sauron is focusing it as much as he is. Yeah, he really is. I really don't know why. It's so confusing to me, but what are you going to do? Let's go ahead and heal up Legolas before anything else happens. 4 health to a hero. Legolas. Hive Guardian comes out. Sure, that's fair. Fair play, Sauron. Let's guard up. That does use up all his resources, though. Sauron passes, huh? Look at you, Sauron. Okay, he has no more resources. He passed. I think then with my last rabbit from my hat, we'll finally be getting Unexpected Courage on Awen. It does a lot of work there. Hopefully you'll get a chance to see that. Although it is a bit late in the game. So the reason I like it on her is because, in case you don't remember offhand, after defeating an enemy or resolving an objective, she readies. And she's good at both. She gets 3 will, usually. Essentially her ability is she gets +2 will the first time a character is damaged, which, you know, spoiler alert, happens every round pretty much. And then her 2 attack is not shabby at all, so she has, you know, attack that's equal to a Legolas to start off with, so she gives you best of both worlds. So Unexpected Courage gives her a lot of flexibility. That being said, let us go ahead and just fade up a little bit. This guy's gonna be ready, isn't he? Yeah, let's not make the same mistake we did last time. Sting Power, ready's a card. Gandalf, okay. I won't be playing him anytime soon, but it's a nice option. Okay. Fade up. Let's clear the objective. And now she's ready with Unexpected Courage, so I can use her will to fade up. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that Mirkwood water just in case. And I think that's gonna do us. We're gonna travel now. We're gonna get this threat event, but hopefully it won't be too big an issue. New bearings. So now we get another big bear coming out. Curious. Kyrus? Token Scholars? Any ideas? Kyrus? McDog mentioning it's gonna choose Glowin guaranteed. Yeah, I mean I would if I was Sauron. Referring to the Fate event. Gee, I wonder who I should damage. The bear. The giant bear in my face. Okay, Caregiver is a great draw there. Huh, the threat event didn't trigger. It might be because that threat event was only specific to that that stage, perhaps? Or I just got lucky. Ooh! Unbearable Gloom. Defeat every ally in play. Yikes. My penguins are lol saying Kyrus, but doesn't seem very Tolkien-esque. Yeah, it could have been borrowed from some other language, I'm sure. I mean, I kind of feel like I should just use Mirkwood water and exhaust this fool. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Go to sleep. Faramir is gonna nuke this guy because he hits for 4. Starbroach. Damage to every exhausted character, huh? So that was just 1 damage to Faramir. I'll take that. Sauron is drained of resources. So, what do we got? Removes pursuit from all enemies, which is useful. But hey, not as useful as a giant freaking bear on our team. Bear versus bear action. So I think that is what I'm going to be aiming towards, because I'm a sucker for these Fate events and these free allies who are just bomb. So we can basically have our way with Sauron right now. We have 3 resources to spend. So I think I'm going to drop a Star Brooch finally, and I'm going to put it on Faramir. Now, the thing is, he can't use it this turn, but with Sting, he's going to become a spider-killing machine with Stalwart. So, it'll pay off. I really would like to have some threat reduction to avoid that, though. That's going to be bad. If it kills my Grimbjorn as soon as he shows up. That would make me sad. Let us try to fade up and get Grimbjorn. As close as we can get, anyway. Just one more. Electron John with the lore note. Had to look it up. It's a deep cut reference to the Kalevala. Kalervo curses a herd of cows and turns them into bears. The word for curse is Kyros. Oh, that is a deep cut. Well done. I'm pleased to see that the attention to lore and kind of that aspect of the world is still intact with this game in the transition. So let's bring him out. You might say to yourself, why don't I wait to play Grimbjorn so this thing doesn't hit him? Well, the reason why is because this is a location-only effect. So, let's hope I get some use out of him. Okay. Well, Grimbjorn's going to set to work. Glowin's going to set to work. Legolas is going to set to work. Oh, I forgot he has Stalwart, too. I can just kill this guy. That's awesome. Ah, so good. Block and Stalwart with 3 attack. Oh, good times. Look at that. Big Bear didn't even get a hit on me, huh? So I could travel. Which I think I will do. I'm up to 38 threat. Let's see if the threat events change, because they did last time, or if that was a bug. So now we've come across the cocoons. We've fought a giant bear, we've crossed a river, now we find our cocoons. Is Bilbo one of the cocoons? Checking our threat events. That is still there. So the answer is no, we're not going to avoid that. Let's see. Deal 1 damage to who? Let's put it here so that Faramir can get in range of nuking it. Okay, well I don't have any threat reduction, so I think we're going to hit that threat event. So we're just going to have to go ahead and get our value out of our allies while we can. So this is the thick cocoon that we can slash. This is a forest spider, giant spider with guard. This one, these are 2 guards. We don't have any fate events left. We've kind of used up the ones we can that are not location specific. So what should we do here then? I think best move is to guard with Grimbjorn. He has... I think he still gets 2 actions, yeah? Or does he not? I am fuzzy offhand on the Stalwart rules, if that would count for... I don't think so. I think he should still get 2 actions, yeah? I could always guard with Glowin too. So I guess we'll start off by guarding with Glowin. Kills my Wandering Took. That's fine. He's going to be defeated in a second anyway. Ransom Man mentioning, I love that now that we're playing a digital game, everyone is showing their real faces. True. I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's just such a standard thing with video games that people show their faces. Versus tabletop, we all kind of hide behind the cardboard. Hide behind the cardboard. A Teatime Tales story. And Ransom Man also mentioning, I'm having a blast with this game. I love how good chumping in is in this because of reciprocal damage. Oh, no doubt. You can really get good value even out of low-cost allies because of that aspect, that if they're guarding and chump blocking, they're still dealing damage back. The poop smithy sounds like a lucrative business. Mentions he can guard once, then attack once. Yeah, I think I've done it before. I just couldn't remember offhand. So let's guard with him. Yep, still active. I kind of just want to guard with him again. I mean, why not at this point, right? So Sauron's gonna show his hand and play out this one. And I still have guard up. Let's see. How do I want to play this? Just trying to see whether I have enough willpower to take care of that. Maybe I should get another will ally on the board. Seems like a fair approach. Let's do that. And that helps with our score too. Faramir and Legolas are about the same. Let's do Faramir now because they've kind of been hammering on Legolas. Faramir now that he's more of a threat. Okay. Still have guard up on Grimbjorn. At least I believe that's how it should work. So just has guard. I'm kind of tempted to kill something just to see if I can get some threat reduction. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, but I could technically just try to plow through this thing here. So defeat every enemy is my goal, and this thing just gets me. Yeah, so I forgot that the goal here is not to rescue. This is just a bonus, but it's to defeat. So yeah, I might as well kill something, so let's kill that. Dead. Draw a card. He's ready with Stalwart. Kills himself on Grimbjorn. Do some more killing with Faramir. Oh, Faramir with Sting is like, and Stalwart is like poetry. I love it so much. Because I'm a completionist, I kind of want to break through this thing before I kill stuff. So let's do that. 2. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Oh man, that was terrible. I meant to apply it to the objective. Ugh. Oh well. I'll just play my handmaiden so I can do the same thing. That was really stupid. I'm getting used to the game in the interface, okay? Don't judge me. So I will replace him because he made a mistake. Let's do what I meant to do now. Just do that. I'm doing that in this order so that Eowyn can finish the objective and ready with an unexpected courage. Let's dump one of the handmaidens. Sorry, you did a good job. And hey, it's another Bjorning. McDog mentioning, I wish you could do a take back on your last action. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's something that's possible or feasible, but that would be nice to be able to backtrack like that. Okay, so now it's just a matter of killing things. Let us kill this one with Eowyn. What is this? This guy has Stalwart too. So smash there. And then we're going to let Legolas finish it off because he's had such a rough time from Sauron. Boom. Quest complete. Victorious. So this is the section where the spiders are working with the orcs, essentially gathering captives for the orcs. And unfortunately, the person we rescued from the cocoon was not Bilbo, it was a Bjorning, but he did help us out. Let's see what we got. 230, not great. I've had better scores with this deck, but now that I understand how the travel rules work and that it raises your threat if there's a ready enemy, that's very good to know for the future. So I think what we missed out on is some hazards resolved. We didn't finish some of those and could have had some better surviving health. Yeah, so that was our first game of the digital game. Really digging it big time. Having a lot of fun with it. A lot of things to balance in a good way, like the fate, the threat events, the objectives, the hazards, all those kind of things. I'm pleased that threat reduction matters. At first, in the first early streams, I was thinking that threat didn't seem like it mattered too much, since unlike the tabletop game, there's no more engagement cost, where, you know, if your threat's at a certain level, then the enemies would engage and attack you. Here, they're always engaged in attacking you. So I was thinking, threat doesn't matter, but it does to avoid those events and for scoring purposes. Healing is huge, more so even than the tabletop game. So, yeah. Let's catch up on chat a little bit. What's the difference if you do rescue old Bilbo? None, because as Vardane mentions, he's not in this particular quest. He's in the next one. Stokes book. So the hazard resolve score doesn't count ones baked into the quest, because that last webs one is a hazard. Yeah, I think they distinguish the hazards. I think there's even a visual difference. There's like this weird red kind of, I don't know what it is, banner or something wrapping around those ones to distinguish them from the other objectives. Yeah, objectives versus hazards. Stokes book, because Sauron played no hazards, I didn't have a chance to get 250 score. I think he did play one, maybe two that I just ignored because they weren't a huge deal for me. The event that kills all your allies is a game ender. Yeah, I'm thankful I was able to avoid that one. Is there any more points you can get from fate events? There was a couple you didn't complete. Yeah, I'm not sure what the max score for fate events is. I'm still not fully up on I don't know if 40 is the max or not. I know I've definitely done more, but I don't know if that's reflected in the score. Or 40 is the max from fate events. Stokes was mentioned, yeah. I usually max out on those because I'm so addicted to getting fate. And this particular deck is pretty good about pumping willpower into the fate. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm not sure what to say about the deck because I'm still learning this game so much that anything I would say has to be taken with a grain of salt. But I think some just general deck building for any game, tabletop or digital, applies. That is, low cost cards are good. If you don't have any way to generate more resources, then just focus on low cost cards like I did, mostly all 1 and 2 drops. And that can take you a long way. And not sure I would there's a few cards in here, like the Record Keeper I mentioned, that I don't use that much. So there's a few I'm looking at, cards that I haven't used as much, that I might want to look for replacements. But other than that, it's pretty good. Maybe I'll throw in another Bjorn's Hospitality just because they are smashing on Legolas so much. But I think that's it, unless anyone has any last questions for me, or last impressions they want to hear. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. Hope you all are having fun with the game. I know I am. I've played up to Quest 3 so far, and I'm still really enjoying it. We'll see how it goes over the next few weeks. Again, like I mentioned last time, if you're a regular viewer, I'm not sure how much I'll be streaming digital versus tabletop. I'm not going to forget about tabletop by any means. That's still going to be the majority of this channel. But yeah, don't be surprised if you see some more digital streams in the future. And let me know if you want to see more of it, because that will help determine my focus as well, based on what people are clamoring and breaking down my door for. So have a good rest of your Wednesday, good rest of your hump day. I'll see you next time.